Hi everyone, happy Thursday. Sorry my videos and everything are a little bit late today. I'm just having a tough, difficult day in the pandemic. Some days I think you probably all feel this. Some days are okay, some days are not. Today I have a day where I really just want to stay in bed all day and sleep. But we have school. Um, I also should tell you that my sister, who is my best friend, is a nurse and she is working every day at the hospital and she is at risk every day. She also works as a community nurse and she works with homeless people and people who have addictions to drugs, and so she's at risk of getting COVID-19 every day, and sometimes that really makes me sad and stresses me out. So I just wanted to share with you guys how I was feeling today because some days are easy and some days are difficult, and I think we all feel this way right now. Okay, so I hope you all are taking care of yourself and doing well. Okay, so today we have two videos. The first video is on a very important academic skill. This skill is used in all areas of your academic life when you go to Fanshawe or if you go to university. You use it when you are writing essays, you use it when you are writing reports, basically any time where you use outside sources, like we talked about yesterday, where you use the internet or books or, news sources or journals, and you're taking information from somebody else and using it inside your own work, you have to use this skill. Paraphrase is a noun and it is also a verb. So you can have a paraphrase or you can paraphrase something, like it's an action that you can do. A synonym to paraphrasing is restating something, to restate, and the noun form for that is a restatement. Another thing you hear often in academics is to put something in your own words. And when they ask you to put something in your own words, they are asking you to make a paraphrase. So this is a really common skill. Okay. Now, just because it is a common skill does not mean that it is an easy skill. Yeah, it is one of the more difficult skills that we have to learn. This is a skill that is difficult for English people, and it is extra super difficult for international students because you have to use kind of all your English skills together. You have to read and understand something, and then you have to write, and you have to use your vocabulary skills, and you must use your grammar skills and your sentence structure skills and your punctuation skills. So you're using all of these skills together, and that can be difficult. I also want to tell you now that nobody is good at this right away. This is a skill that requires a lot of practice. When I did my undergraduate degree, I did my undergraduate degree in English and also in political science and also in women's studies. And all three of those subjects required that I wrote a lot of essays. And so I had to do a lot of research, and I had to do a lot of putting the research in my own words. And therefore, I had to paraphrase a lot. And I really don't think that I became good at this skill until my fourth year of university. So even for English people, this skill requires a lot of practice. So I know that this will be difficult, but don't be just be gentle with yourself, because you will be terrible at this. Everyone is going to be really, really bad at it. And I understand that. So don't worry about it right now. As long as you are trying and practicing, that is the important thing. Okay, so let's talk about actually making a paraphrase. Okay, so generally, when we paraphrase, we are finding a piece of information from an outside source, And we are trying to take that original piece of information that was written by another person, not us, and we need to change it so that the meaning stays the same, but the words and the sentence structure are different. Okay, so here I have a quite simple sentence. Cats are the best pets. So what I want you to do right now with your notebook and paper that I'm sure you have is I want you to pause the video and I want you to try to write this sentence again, but this time using synonyms, maybe some different words, maybe change the sentence structure, but try and keep the meaning as close to the original as possible. Okay, so pause the video and come back when you're done. Okay, so I hope everybody tried to make a paraphrase of this. This is my paraphrase, and we're going to talk about it together. Okay, so cats are the best pets. My preferred domestic animals are felines. So this is a paraphrase of this. So here we have the word cats. It's one of our main words. In fact, it is the subject of this sentence. Now, usually for all the main words, you want to paraphrase, or find a synonym for them. So the synonym that I found is felines. You may not know this word, but it is a scientific word for cats. Technically, any kind of cat is a feline. So a tiger is a feline, a lion is a feline. I used felines as a synonym for cats. Okay. So now I'm going to find the word pets, which is like the other big noun in this sentence. Now here I used two words, domestic animals. And this is what we call a synonym phrase. Now, it is really possible that your paraphrase will be longer than your original, and that is okay. And the reason why our paraphrases are sometimes longer than the original is that there is not always a perfect one-word synonym for every word in the English language. Sometimes you need 2 words, 3 words, 4 words to say the same thing as one word. So there isn't really another one-word synonym for pets. So I chose these 2 words, domestic animals. Domestic is an adjective that means something that is inside your house, and an animal is an animal. So a domestic animal is an animal that lives inside your house, which is the same meaning as pets. So I've got my 2 big nouns, and I have made synonyms for them. So instead of saying the best, I'm going to say my preferred. And this may not be exactly the same, but it's pretty close. Okay, so you can see here that I've used synonyms for all the biggest language parts of this sentence. Now, the second thing I did is I changed the sentence structure. So here, cats is the subject of this sentence. And here, felines is the object of this sentence. So sometimes just doing a little switch where you switch the subjects and the objects is enough to change the whole sentence structure. But be careful. Sometimes when you change the subject and the object, the meaning completely changes. For example, I love cats and cats love me are these two sentences, do they have the same meaning? No, they don't. They don't have the same meaning. I love cats is talking about my preference, and cats love me is talking about the preference of the cats, and that the meaning is different. So you have to be very, very careful that when you are changing the sentence structure and when you are changing the synonyms, that you are maintaining the exact same meaning as the original. And that is like the most difficult part of learning how to paraphrase, is how do we change all of these things and keep the meaning exactly the same. Okay. So I recommend that you take some notes on this next part. Okay. So here we're going to have a list of what makes a good paraphrase. And here we're going to make a list of what makes a bad paraphrase. Paraphrase. Okay. So, if you think back to the example I just gave you, you can probably fill in a little bit of these columns, like what is a good paraphrase and what is a bad paraphrase. The number one rule of a good paraphrase is that the meaning is the same. So we want the meaning between the original text and your paraphrase. They must mean the exact same thing. It's a bad paraphrase if the meaning changes. A good paraphrase uses lots of synonyms and synonym phrases. Lots of synonyms and synonym phrases. So remember, it doesn't have to be one word. If you need more than one word to have the same meaning as the original, that is totally okay. It is okay if the paraphrase is longer than the original. Okay. However, a bad paraphrase, either there are not enough synonyms. So if you're using the exact same words as the original, then it's too close to the original, and that is plagiarism. And we will talk about that a little bit next week. Okay. So not enough synonyms. So we need like almost every major word in, oh my God, there's a moth. Oh, I caught it. Oh my God. Almost every major word in your sentence or text needs to be changed with a synonym. So a bad paraphrase has not enough synonyms, or they are wrong. Like the synonyms are not correct synonyms and they change the meaning of the original. Okay. A good paraphrase changes the sentence structure. And a bad paraphrase, changing the sentence structure, sentence structure changes the meaning. So just like in my I love cats, cats love me example, you have to be really careful when you change the sentence structure that it does not change the meaning of the sentence itself. Now, to have a good paraphrase, you must change synonyms and you also must change the sentence structure. You have to do both of these things for it to be a good paraphrase. Okay. A good paraphrase maybe changes word forms. So word forms like I can take a verb and maybe change it to a noun, or I can change an adjective and change it to a noun. I don't know. Yeah, so you can play with the word forms a little bit, but again, I think you're getting the point. Don't change the meaning. And you have to remember that when you're changing word forms, that also changes the grammar of the sentence. So if you change an adjective to a noun, the way that that noun is in the sentence is going to change too. Like adjectives and nouns are not used in the same way in a sentence. So you will have to change the sentence to accommodate the new word forms. Okay. So that's basically it. A good paraphrase, the meaning between the original and the paraphrase is exactly the same. There's lots of synonyms. You've changed the sentence structure. You've maybe played with word form. Couple more things. In a bad paraphrase, there is added or missing info. So a really common mistake that people make when they are paraphrase is that they have an original text and they only paraphrase like part of it. And that is not the complete meaning. And so that therefore it is an incomplete paraphrase. You have missing information. Another thing people do is sometimes when they know something about a topic, they like to add information into the paraphrase that is not in the original text. Don't do this because it changes the meaning. So if you have added information or missing information from the original, then it's a bad paraphrase. It doesn't work. Okay, so that is our paraphrase lesson. Paraphrasing sucks. It's super hard. And so I'm going to ask you to practice a little bit. If you look in the content section of FOL under week 4, under writing, there's a paraphrasing activity. I saved it as a Word document, so you should be able to type onto it. This is not homework. I'm not going to check this, but I really suggest that you compare your paraphrases with each other. I know you all have a WhatsApp group. You can post some of your paraphrases and then you can correct each other. Check, is the meaning the same? Are there lots of synonyms? Is there a change in sentence structure? Is there any added information? Is there any missing information from the original? If you guys all compare your answers, you can really, really help each other. Again, practice makes perfect. The more you practice this skill, the better it will be. In my next lecture video today, I'm going to be talking about how paraphrasing is an important skill in your essay, but it is also a skill that you will be asked to do in your final exam, I believe. So this is really, really important. Okay, good luck everybody, and I'll see you in the next video.